DS Smith have very kindly offered to sponsor this reception, and Jochen is going to give us a few minutes thoughts on manufacturing, the circular economy, and the future. So the floor is yours, Jochen.
Thank you very much. I mean, good evening from our side, and on behalf of DS Smith, we are really proud to be able to kick off the debate around for creating demand for post-recycled materials. I mean, as you would see, this is a very close to our heart. I mean, DS Smith, we are a very proud UK company which over the last years or decades grew into a global business. And the circular economy approach is basically our business model. If you think what we are doing, we're a packaging company in the cardboard area. We provide materials to whether it's the big online retailers or to the big FMCG companies. We then have the ability to collect these materials, and that is where the recycling division comes into play. But not just collecting it, but also 100% of our boxes which we produce is basically made from recycled materials. And so that is really the foundation of our business model. Therefore, everything what this report is working on, the conversation or the debate which is fostering, is something which is very close to our heart, because this is something which is in our business model. The things which are also important to us is, and I think that is one of the things we see at the moment, and is becoming more interesting by the month, is consumers are getting more demanding when it comes down to recycling. If we see the whole plastic debate, if we see what happened over the last few years in terms of stagnating recycling rates, we see, rightly so, demand and increasing the rates from our consumers, but also we see a lot of innovation around the packaging and the flows associated to it, and that will create challenges in our systems as we have them currently. From our point of view, the upcoming waste, resource and waste strategy is a fantastic opportunity to really not just look into this one area, but have a bit of a wider lens on these areas, and also gives us the opportunity to bring the UK recycling industry not just to the middle, but really to world class. And I think when we look what happened over the last years, I think we have the ingredients to really make it a success. And the areas we think which also needs to be looked into it is all about, we talked about, I think Alex talked about the extended producer responsibilities. I think we just have to make sure it's a fair process, which not captures some organizations, but all organizations. But even more importantly, that we really charge more, that the fee is related to the recyclability of products. If somebody puts something into the market which is more difficult to recycle, it needs to be reflected. So it's a very important feature in our business. I think the other one is about what are we going to do with the money which is made available? And we have seen a lot of areas where, from our point of view, it goes, collection is one part of the system, but the real value is when it is recycled. And I'm representing, let's say, the collection side of our business, not the recycling side. But I think when it comes down to the recycling part, we need to make sure that that is the area where we invest into in the future. And the last part, and I think that is very close to my heart, is how do we make it simple for the consumers that they can actually recycle? Because we see a lot of innovation which are happening at the moment. And to be honest, my wife is always challenging me when it comes down to, where to put what. She always said, how can we, you as a head of the recycling has no clue what to do. But then if you start digging into it, you realize it's not as straightforward. With all the innovation which are happening, I think it's becoming more complicated. And there is a convenient factors for the consumers, and we just have to make sure that whatever we put out there is hitting that with the consumers, so that we are not ending up with streams which are contaminated, because whatever is contaminated is difficult to recycle, or it costs a lot of money to sort it out, and we don't have the technologies at the moment. So I think this is a fantastic opportunity. I believe very strongly that the next years will shape the industry for the decades to come. I think there's an opportunity for us to invest into the right fields. I think there's an opportunity for us to create the right policies, and what I've seen from the report so far, I think it moves into the right direction. We just have to make sure that there's a more holistic view. That's all what I wanted to say. 3 minutes.